Hello all, welcome to my YouTube channel and this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to write your resume, and I'm also going to give you some tips on improving your resume. So let's get started. So the key is to make it as concise as possible. So let's say you're having a resume that is around 2 to 3 pages. So just try to jot down the important points and try to make it like one page. So the shorter the resume is, the better it is. So anything more than one page is kind of like become harder for the recruiter to read and go through. So it may kind of uh, leave you in a situation in which your resume may not get shortlisted. So that is the tip number one. And second is related to the tip number one. So how you can make it shorter. So the key is, let's say you are writing something that is taking the whole page, just kind of separate out in two text boxes. It's like take 50-50 space of a page and make it like 50% left, 50% right, and just divide it so that you can put more content in the same page and you do not need more pages. So moving to the next tip is, when you're writing your resume, make sure you put your photo in it, because when you put your photo in it, it makes easier for recruiter to kind of recognize you when you physically appear for the interview or virtual interacting with the recruiter. So that is also a good point that you should keep in mind while writing your resume. And the next thing to keep in mind when writing your resume, as of now, many companies are kind of taking resumes online, and some companies only take resumes online. So in this case, you should make hyperlinks. So what I mean to say is, let's say your email ID is example@example.com. So it should be clickable. It's like if someone is clicking on that email address, and then it should redirect them to your email ID and prompt them to write an email. Same thing you can do with your phone number, your LinkedIn profile, or other things that you may want to have a short link, so that the recruiter or the resume reader don't have to copy and paste the link from your resume and kind of like paste it in browser, and it will make it more difficult for them to process it. So it may kind of feel for them like this candidate is not kind of keeping update, is not keeping up to date with the pace of the industry. So these scenarios may arise, but it's very less likely be the case. So do not worry about it that much, but you should have hyperlinks if you're posting online resume. The next thing is the grammatical manner. So the grammars should always be correct in your resume. If you have some kind of grammatical mistake, just uh, reread your resume and try to find out where it may go wrong. Read your resume at least 2 times after you have prepared the final one. And the next thing is the readability. So you should try to use the fonts that are more readable. So it's like if you're using some, let's say you're using white background and you're using light colored fonts, so color should also be good, so it will kind of decrease the readability. And the text size should be that the person can read your resume without any problem if the zoom level is 100%. So I just want to say, like, they do not need to zoom in your resume, then it will be better. If they need to zoom, then it may become troublesome to read. So you should also keep in mind the readability and other aspects while making your resume. So the summary is,